Previously,
Project Andromeda.
It effectively increases the area of the control surface, which should increase the responsiveness of the aircraft.
Test it out, and hopefully it doesn't disintegrate. Fingers crossed.
Alright, what you're looking at here is me making some last minute repairs because the motor mount was starting to get loose. Is that a good sign? Probably not. What you're looking at now is me just teaching these guys how to throw this plane so that there's a best chance of success. And then there's just me putting on my equipment so I can see from the plane's perspective. Again, a quick last minute brief of what to do, and then hand it over. Attempt 1, here we go. Pay attention because it happens really quick and you might miss it. And it happens quick in a bad way, I think you'll see. So it goes and then the climbs a bit, then bang. I can't even talk that fast. From the plane's perspective, it's up and it's down. That's it. That's simple. The moment it took off, I didn't really have much control over it, so I cut the engine pretty quick because I was afraid that if it would crash and the engine kept spinning, it would suck up some grass or rocks and then might even damage the engine. So that's why I just cut it off pretty quickly. It might have been okay if I left it on a little bit longer because it might have picked up enough speed to get some responsiveness, but just considering how I was getting no response whatsoever, I thought there must be something wrong with the control surfaces and it was just not worth trying it out at all. Alright, this is just as fast as the first one, so watch carefully. Up, and then down. And this one, I think the plane just stalled right after being launched, so there was no way it could generate enough lift, and that's why it crashed right away. It couldn't get enough speed to get control either, and I just didn't feel like I had any control. I was trying my hardest to bank out of that dive, but it just wasn't responding. So I think it's a design flaw, or it just could be me. You always learn lessons from failures, and I definitely did reconsider a lot of things after this experience, but overall it was a good experience, and I think I'll let my past self talk about the things that I'll be doing better next time.
Just got back from testing the prototype and I actually don't think it went that bad. Obviously, looking at broken wings and this whole mess can make you think that it was a horrible failure, but I don't think so actually. Of course, seeing something you make disintegrate before your very eyes is pretty heartbreaking, but life isn't fair, I guess.
That's rough, buddy.
Well, what I learned from it is probably a more productive conversation to have. So first of all, through the footage, I can see that I definitely did not have control over this plane whatsoever. And I think that might be because these stabilators or stabilators or whatever wacky name I gave them, I don't think they're just too flimsy. I don't know. Like, they probably just, the second they got into the air, they probably just extended like this and then lost control. On the ground, they worked fine because you can go back and forth like this. But the second you're in the air and there's actual air pushing against them, I don't know, I wish I had a camera to look at them, but something's got to be up with this. I think I'll just go back to regular old control surfaces, and even though they're technically not going to be as powerful as the entire fin moving, it's worked in the past, so that's one thing. The motor mount definitely has to be a lot better. It held up in the air, it didn't explode on itself or anything, but it was just a bit too sketchy for my liking. And if something's too sketchy for my liking, it's pretty damn sketchy. The actual body of the plane, it just sort of exploded upon impact, and I guess that is what happens when something hits the ground really fast. Maybe I need to have more of a square type cross section instead of this kind of rectangular thing, just for more strength. The wings also, they stuck on, which I'm amazed by, and it even survived a tip impact here. But I think what I should do is make the wings just one big piece, have the spar across both of them, and then attach the wing as a whole piece on top of the jet, or in the center of the jet, or whatever I need to do, instead of having two separate pieces that kind of have a lot of give. Although they still stick on, so we'll see about that. What else? Wreckage, yeah, more wreckage. The camera survived, which is really cool. It definitely had enough power because it was. I do think it was climbing. If I look at the footage, it definitely was climbing. It's just that once it started banking, I didn't have control over it. And as you know, when something banks, all the lift goes sideways and then just falls. And then if you can't recover, it just hits the ground. So yeah, what I think happened is that it was thrown very nicely. It went up. Because of inherent design flaws, it banked one way or the other. And because I didn't have enough control, it just kept banking and then nosedived. So, yeah, back to the drawing board, I guess. Still pretty fun though.